Hello and welcome to a new episode of Vedic Spirituality. My name is Namadan Gopaldas. I'm your host on this channel, and today we're going to discuss something that is very relevant to astrology. So as I said, I'm studying astrology and I'm planning to share about my experiences in that on this channel also. And we are just about to complete the series that I started about the Vedic principles and so on. So we started with saying that spiritual knowledge, the knowledge of the self and the super self, is the very essence of Vedic knowledge, and that is received through the listening process. And the society was based on this principle on this spiritual knowledge. And in the last video we said about how the Vedic paradigm is that everything is based on consciousness, whereas the modern paradigm is that everything is based on matter. So in the Vedic paradigm, the supreme consciousness, she manifests matter. And matter, slowly, all the different elements they manifest, starting from the most subtle element, going to the most gross element. Whereas in the modern paradigm, they say that consciousness and life in general, or the whole world, just evolved from matter. So they are just going opposite. And therefore, modern paradigm and modern science is based on just empirical evidence. Whereas Vedic science is based on revelation, on revealed knowledge, especially that revealed knowledge that is coming through the listening process, the Shruti. That is the main proof. In the Vedic science, the main proof and the undisputable proof is Shruti, means what is listened, which is revealed. So in the Vedic paradigm, the proof is revelation, and in the material paradigm, the proof is empiric. So this is the difference. And so if we take this, since we are here in Vedic spirituality, talking about Vedic spirituality, and also we will talk about Vedic astrology, which is a part of Vedas, we will definitely follow this paradigm, is it not? We are not going to talk about this paradigm. We're going to talk about this paradigm. That above matter, there is consciousness. Matter comes from consciousness. And matter is always controlled by consciousness, and not the opposite. Not that matter develops consciousness, and not that matter evolves to consciousness and controls consciousness. Okay. So if we take this like this paradigm to the individual state, like us, that means that we can say that this, because of the presence of the soul, because of the consciousness, our body works. Okay. So because of the presence of the soul, my heart beats. Because of the presence of the consciousness, my brain cells work. Because of the presence of the soul, my hand can grab this pen and do stuff like this. Oh, wait. Ta-da. Okay. However, and because of the presence of the soul, I breathe and think and live. And if the soul goes out, then we just have a lump of matter without consciousness. Which is, it is like that, isn't it? If a person dies, all the elements that were present at life were still there, but just the soul went out, and then the body becomes a useless lump of matter that starts to rot and disintegrate and goes back. The elements start to decompose to its and the air goes to air, the water goes to water, and the earth goes to earth, like that. So but if we take this principle to a like global or cosmic level, so we can say also the sun burns due to the presence of consciousness. Then the moon shines and moves and waxes and wanes due to the presence of a consciousness. And then we can also say like the rain, if we take another color, oh, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The rain falls due to a presence of a consciousness. And we can say the wind blows. The wind blows, no? Due to the presence of a consciousness. And we can say the ocean rises and shrinks, the tides, due to the presence of a consciousness. So that is the Vedic paradigm, that matter moves and matter develops and matter does because of the presence of consciousness, of the Atma, of the spiritual spark. And the same we can say with the cosmic happenings. The planets, they are in their orbits due to the presence of a consciousness. The sun shines, rises and sets because of the presence of a consciousness. I'm breathing because of the presence of a consciousness. So this is the Vedic paradigm. And therefore in Vedic paradigm we have the functioning of the world is not based on, like, let's say the weather. The weather is not based on air pressure and the sun influx and humidity and so on, and the topography. It is not based on that. The weather is based on Lord Indra, who is a consciousness, who is the consciousness behind the weather. And the blowing of the wind is not based on the difference of pressures. There is a high pressure, there's a low pressure, and the wind blows because of that. Of course, if we measure it, we can see there's a high pressure and a low pressure. But these are not the things the empiric world sees. These are not the cause of it. These are just the effect. So that the wind blows from here to there, there is a high pressure, there's a high pressure, here's a low pressure, so that we can measure, but that is just the effect of the presence of the consciousness. And the consciousness is Vayudev, it is a god, and his consciousness makes it happen that the wind blows. And if we go now, the empirical ignorant person who doesn't know about consciousness and just believes into matter, he will go with his blunt senses and goes and measures this stuff. Of course he will get a high pressure there and a low pressure there, and then says, oh, because of that it flows. But that are just mere effects of the cause, and the cause always lies in the consciousness. And that is the Vedic paradigm. And therefore in Vedic astrology, when we talk about planets, they are not just there, some piece of rock that due to gravity has some influence on us. No, they are consciousness. There are a person behind it. A higher consciousness is behind it that influences that crafts our life. So let's say this, the sun god. He is a person and he has certain qualities and certain duties in this world, and they infuse this our reality with his qualities. And this is not due to some cosmic rays and some energies. It is because of consciousness. Of course, the cosmic rays and the energies are there, but they're just mere empirical effects. But the real stuff happens behind the empiric world. It happens in the realm of consciousness. All right. So that is a short video. Thank you so much for listening. I have a second part to this, so please don't miss it out. And see you next time. Oh man. night.